Hello. Today is Monday, June 1st. Today's the day we're going to start again. We're going to start all over again. We're going to get back on our program, whether it's calorie counting, keto, Weight Watchers, TOPS, eye tracks, calorie counting, momentum. There's so many different plans. I've always said that the plan that works for you is the right plan for you. So whatever plan you're doing, let's start today, June 1st. The first day, beginning, summer's coming up pretty soon, and summer gets by us so quickly, and we want to enjoy the summer. And there's the perfect time right now because there's so many fresh fruits and vegetables in the northern hemisphere coming to play, and we can really get back on track and enjoy our food at the same time. We can also go to our barbecues and picnics and parties within, social distancing, but we can do all of that and still stay on track and still stay on plan and still enjoy ourselves, because there's always a way. So these are 21. I have to look down, and I might be, well, you won't see me squinting because I have my sunglasses on. You know what? These are glasses that turn into sunglasses, but they're so old that the layer is starting to peel away. So I have to get to the eye doctor. I have to go anyhow, but we'll see. But there's so many good reasons that you want to lose weight, but we're not going to go into all of them. But like, you're going to feel better, you're going to move better, you're going to live longer, your clothes are going to fit better, you're just going to have a whole better attitude about everything. So we don't need to go into all of them. Let's just get into the 21 tips, because there's a lot of them. The first one is to eat slowly. If you really taste each little bite that you put in your mouth, you're more likely to slow down and really savor it and enjoy it. And a lot of times, if you're going to have something, the first couple bites are really all you need. So if you do want to have that occasional cookie or a donut or something, take a couple bites and savor it, and just eat it slowly and be aware of it. And it also lets your brain get time to say, you know what, you had enough. You keep eating and eating, and your brain can't keep up with your stomach. And then you get to the point that you've eaten too much, and then you just don't feel good. We don't want to get to that point. The number two thing that you want to do is you bite it, you write it. I don't care what kind of plan you're on, you should keep track of what you're eating, whether it's the calories or the points or whatever it is, the ounces in the water. It just gives you a nice frame of reference to see how you're doing. At the end of the week, when you get on the scale, you can see if you did really well. You can go back and see, what did I do that made me do so well? And if you did really poorly, you can look back and see, where did I mess up? And always remember, if you mess up at one meal, and I really don't consider it a mess up, it's just like you enjoyed it a little bit too much. So you can't enjoy every meal that much as far as going over your points if you want to lose weight. So enjoy the meal, track it, and move on. If you've eaten too much for breakfast, then make adjustments for lunch and dinner. If you ate really well at breakfast and then screwed up, had too much to eat at lunch, I hate to say screwed up, but you ate too much at lunch, try to scale back at dinner time. I eat just basically 2 meals, and they're big meals, breakfast and dinner. But I guess what I'm doing is intermittent fasting, which I never really thought of it as being that way. But I usually don't eat my breakfast, lunch, whatever you want to call it, till about 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And then I always eat my dinner between 6 and 7. And then I don't eat anything in between from 7 till 1 the next day. So it works for me, but my meals are really big. I'm sure that if I was to cut them down and have them a little bit smaller, I might lose weight a little bit faster. But you have to know who you are, and that's just not who I am. So be who you are. Number 3, exercise anything that moves. I like to go for a daily walk. I walk between 2 and 2.5 miles every day, depending on the route I take in my subdivision. I just look forward to it. I'm not so much doing it for a weight loss, although I do find that when I do walk, I do tend to lose a little bit better. But at my age, I just needed to keep my joints from stiffening up, and it's just an all-around better thing for me to do, because you don't move it, you lose it. I know this. How many of us, no matter what age you are, have sat in a chair too long, and when you get up, you're a little stiff. Imagine that if you're 70. You can only sit so long, although you'd like to sit a long time, that's for sure. Number 4 is keep a daily gratitude journal. I keep a journal, but it's not so much a gratitude journal. It's just I like to keep track of my day, what worked for me that day, what didn't work for me that day, who pissed me off that day, who didn't. Um, a lot of who I've been missing lately in my journal. But it just, if you're really angry at somebody, I've always said this, it's just so much better to write it down on a piece of paper. Write down exactly what you want to say. Don't say it to that person unless you never want to talk to them again, because you can be really honest in your opinions when you're writing it down and your only audience is the audience of one, and that's you. But you feel so much better saying, "Oh, I would have said this and I would have said that." I, unfortunately, or fortunately, either way you want to look at it, I'm pretty quick with a quip. I'm pretty good with a comeback. Um, a lot of times it's not to my favor that I'm so quick. It's just not. But I very rarely think, "Oh, I should have said this." I always think, "I wish I wouldn't have said that." Because, like I said, I'm a little too quick with the lip. It's just, it could be good, it could be bad. A lot of times it's bad. So, but if you keep a daily journal, you'll know. I start my day with a prayer every morning. It's just I'm grateful for a new day, a new beginning, a new chance, a new opportunity to get it right, and it starts my day out right. And I end my day the same way. I just thank God for everything that I've been given, and I try to find the good in everything. I really do. Sometimes it's a little difficult, I'll admit, but I always try to see the good side of something. Number 5, batch, cook, and prep. I did do prepping at one point, and it just wasn't for me. When I make my breakfast platter, it's pretty huge, but that is like a prep thing that I kind of graze on all day. I just don't sit down and eat it all at once, which is probably why I only have the 2 meals, because my dinner is pretty filling too. It's pretty high in points. But my breakfast, I probably eat about 1, and I would say that I'm not done with that platter till about 3 or 3:30, because it's a lot of food, and it's kind of hard to eat it all at once in one sit down. There was a time in my life that I could have sat down and ate it all at once, and then ate a lunch and ate all of that at once, and then ate a dinner, and then had snacks and everything in between. That was the old me. That's not me anymore. Number 6 is get enough Z's. They always say that if you get enough sleep, you're going to be better, because you're going to make smarter choices. You're not going to make tired decisions. And they've proven that it helps you to lose weight. It just really does. And you just have a whole better attitude when you get enough sleep. Number 7 is don't skip meals. Like I said, I only have the 2 meals, and it works for me. But most people need 3 meals and 2 snacks. If that's what works for you, then that's what works for you, and do it. A lot of people eat their breakfast, have a little morning snack, have their lunch, then have an afternoon snack, and then have their dinner. And then some people have a snack afterwards. If that works for you and you can stay within your budget of your points or calories or whatever it is you're doing, go for it. Number 8 is stay hydrated. I do drink a lot of water. The one week I drank a little bit too much water, and it kind of showed on the scale. I didn't really have a really great loss. I think I had too much water. They recommend 8 8-ounce glasses of water a day, so that's 64 ounces. I know there's some sites out there that say that you should drink half of your body weight. That's what I did that particular week. I drank like 120 ounces or something like that, and it showed on the scale. I didn't have a loss. So I didn't drink as much water this week, and I lost 2 pounds. So I think a lot of it was the weight I should have lost the week before, because at my age, 2 pounds a week is kind of unrealistic. I'd love to have 2 pounds every week, but I know that's not going to happen. Number 9 is cut calories, not flavor. I'm a big believer in this. I don't like low-fat foods. I don't like fat-free foods. I just don't. So I use the points. I use a 4% cottage cheese. I've tried the low-fat, no-fat. I've tried it. I don't like it. I've tried the skim milk, the 1% milk. I don't like it. I can drink 2% milk. That's fine for me. I don't like fat-free cheese. I eat the full-fat cheese. I just count the points. I just do. I'm not going to stay on something. I'm not going to eat something for the rest of my life that I don't like. So I figure out what I like, figure it into my points, and I take it. Now, I love the Simply Lemonade. I love it. But it's a lot of points. And so I thought I'll try the Simply Light, which was only 1 point for 8 ounces. I love it. I just love it. It's got a little bit of an aftertaste, I've found. So what I did was I added 8 ounces of sugar-free cranberry juice, which to me doesn't have an aftertaste, and it kind of makes the lemonade that much better, and I just love it. I just love it. So, and I get a 16-ounce glass of a juice for 1 point. Most juices are a lot more than 1 point. Number 10 is to weigh yourself only once a week. This is what I do. I don't know how people, I know you can probably hear my phone, it can go to voicemail, unless we get interrupted here, because usually if it's one of my family members, if they call me on the house phone and I don't answer, then they switch to the cell phone. But anyway, I can't weigh myself every day. There's a lot of people out there that do that, and more power to you. Your weight fluctuates every day for various reasons. You can weigh yourself like at 9 o'clock in the morning, and you can weigh yourself again at 10 o'clock in the morning, and you're going to get a completely different weight. So once a week, I weigh on Saturday mornings on my bathroom scale at 10 o'clock on Saturdays every week. And I wear the same outfit, my pajamas, and that's the weight I go by. Number 11 is reorganize your plate. Make half your plate vegetables, a quarter of your plate whole grains, and a quarter of your plate a lean protein. I also try to get a protein at every meal. I only have 2 meals, but if I have a snack a lot of times, which is very rare, but if I do have a snack, I always try to have a protein snack, because I find that it's a lot more filling and it's better for me. So that's what I do. Number 12 is follow the 80% rule. Eat until you feel 80% full. Pack any extra food away instead of feeling like you have to be the clean plate club. If you grew up back in the 50s and 60s, you're part of the clean plate club. And you heard about all those poor children in China that didn't have enough food to eat. And you were depriving them of eating because you didn't eat. I never understood even as a child. So if I don't eat this, are we going to ship it to them? I don't understand, you know. So, but we were always taught, you know, you always leave it. And I still, to this day, have a hard time, even if I only put a little bit on my plate and try to leave just something on my plate. It's just, like when I have my veggie platter and I have the cauliflower and the broccoli, sometimes I'll like bite off the top of it and have like a little bit of the stem, and I'll put it on the plate, and I'll think I'm going to leave that. I'm going to tell you, 9 times out of 10 I end up eating it because I'm part of that generation. I'm trying to get out of it, but it's hard. Number 13 is skip the liquid calories, like the sugar sweetened beverages and things like that, liquors, wines, things like that. It doesn't mean that you can't have them all together, but try to limit them and figure them into your points, definitely. Number 14, be choosy at restaurants. Oh, I miss my restaurants. I haven't been to the restaurant since February, and if you follow me, you know I'm going through major withdrawal. I still, and I know everybody tells me, and my whole family eats carry out, and I know everybody else out there eats carry out. I'm not ready. I'm just not ready. I know I have to get ready. I know I have to. I know I have to ease back into this. I've made a pledge to myself that on my anniversary, that, because I really don't think I can see me going to a restaurant, that Jim and I every year on our anniversary go to the Olive Garden. They're building an Olive Garden by us. I'm going to get a carry out. Jim says, well, I'm going to go in the restaurant. And I said, well, you can go in the restaurant and eat it. Sit by the window. I'll bring a lawn chair. I'll sit outside the window and have my carry out. We'll eat together because I don't know. Who's to know? That's a whole nother month away. I might change my mindset. But when you're at a restaurant, you know, you can ask for steamed vegetables. You know, you can ask for them not to have it in the butter. Tell them you have an allergy. That's the key. Tell them you have an allergy, because then you know for sure. Because you could say, well, you know, I'd like no butter on it, and then the waiter or the server, I'm sorry, I keep calling them waiters because that's what they were when I was growing up. The server might go back in the kitchen and not really be bothered telling the cook. But if you tell them you have an allergy, they don't want a lawsuit, so they're going to make sure they're really careful about it. Number 15, embrace your veggies. You know, as much as I love veggies, I don't incorporate them enough into my food, and I don't know why. I just love them. There's not too many that I don't like. I'm not a big fan of radishes or eggplant. That's about, of the things I've tried, radishes and eggplant are about the only ones raw carrots. I'm not a big fan of raw carrots. I love a cooked carrot or a boiled carrot, but a raw carrot, not too much. But, and arugula. I don't like arugula. I don't like that. But for the most part, I like all vegetables, so I don't know why I don't eat more. And I just lost where I was at because I hit the wrong thing. I forget what number we were on. I gotta find it now. Okay, now we're back to number 16. In fact, make the veggies the stars. Next time you make pasta, make a small portion of pasta itself and toss a dish with roasted broccoli, shrimp, garlic, and lemon zest. Well, I don't like shrimp, but like I could see me toasting some of that other stuff in there. And there's so many things you can do. I make a really good vegetable pasta salad. I should make that, like a cucumber pasta salad I've made in the past. Yeah, I should do that. I really should do that. Number 17, which we all know, keep unhealthy foods out of the house. It's kind of hard. I try to have Jim on some kind of a plan, but Jim is not. Luckily for me, he likes store-bought cookies. I don't like store-bought cookies, so they do not tempt me, so I can have store-bought cookies in the house. His favorite candy is M&M peanuts, and so in our candy basket we have M&M peanuts. I can take or leave a M&M peanut. I like them, but they don't call my name. Now, if the basket had Bit of Honeys or these little candies, I like squirrels, or what other ones do I like? Tootsie Rolls. I'd be tempted. Caramels, craft caramels, or caramels as my daughter calls them. Oh, if I had those in the basket, I'd go crazy. So I just know I can't have those in the house. But the M&Ms, I might have an occasional M&M, but they don't call my name. Number 18, use portion-controlled dishes. That's so true. If you try to use a luncheon plate. A lot of times you'll see my food like really piled on there. It's because I've tried to use a luncheon plate, and it really should have been onto a dinner plate because I have so much. If you've ever seen my salads, I have like a big bowl of salad. It's just, it's ridiculous how big my salads are. And for some reason, 19, 20, and 21 don't want to be on here. I wonder why. Let me figure out what's going on, and I will be right back. Okay, I lost the internet. AT&T, I lose it every once in a while, but it's back now. I think it was number 19 was to skip the salt. Salt is obviously going to want you to crave sweets in most cases, so you want to skip that. Number 20 was eat proportionate sizes. Measure out what you want to do. Make sure that you're not overindulging on it. Make sure it's the proper amount of food. Have your measuring cups out, your spoons, your scales, whatever you need. Make sure that you have it, because sometimes you'll just like eyeball something and think that that's the right size, and it's really not. We sometimes are a little bit too generous if you think about it, because I'm guilty of that myself. I'll think that, that looks like about 3 ounces, and then I put it on the scale and it's 5. So use a scale. And the last thing they tell you to do is start where you were at. Don't think wishing and hoping and thinking and praying. Wishing and hoping and thinking and praying. It's not going to get you there. So start where you're at. Weigh yourself right now. Find out how much you weigh. Next Monday, weigh yourself again. Same time, same place, same station. And just go from there, because we have to start somewhere. And you can always think, well, I once was this way, but now I'm this, or I used to weigh like 10 pounds lighter. That was yesterday, and yesterday's gone. That was yesterday, and yesterday's gone. Chad and Jeremy. I know I keep going on, but anyway, so just start where you're at. As long as you know like a starting point. On your mark, get set, go. That's all you need to know. So I'm going to leave in the description box below a link to the article that I got this from, and check it out and see. Maybe it goes into a little bit more depth than I did, but I know we can do this. I just know it. I have no doubt. New day, new month, new beginning. It just really is. So remember, ready, set, go.